to rock with the light this morning, y'all. It's been a heavy week. A lot going on. Woke up to tweets from Donald Trump saying he was going to send a National Guard into Minneapolis and thugs must be shot. I'm talking about, child, if we could just get, woo, that's heavy, man. I don't know if some of y'all got to see my vibe conversation this morning, but this is the reason. This is the reason why I'm preaching peace. This is the reason why I'm doubling down on voting. And I'm not going to say peace. I'm going to say doubling down on voting. Voting. We have a brilliant guest today. He should bring some light to us on this Friday. Child, I might cut my phone off for the weekend. I don't know about y'all, but and by the way, I'm still in my car. The AT&T people came, but enough about me. Let me get my brother in here. Hold on one second, y'all. Yes.
What up, though? What up, bro?
I came on your live and you was working out. I was like, I just finished. I should have hit him and we could have worked out together, then got on the show.
Yeah, that would have been cold. Man. You was just getting your workout in?
I had stopped. I had just finished. I went to check you out because I saw you were live. You had just got on. I was like, oh, I just finished. I see you at 3. But nah, I had to get it in this morning, man. It's been a heavy week.
Yeah, it's definitely been a heavy week, man. But we got to make sure we take care of ourselves and in the process, and so that allows us to take care of each other,
Yes, sir. I do know, man. I miss you. How are you? What's going on? I mean, are you good? How's your mental health? How are you sustaining through the corona?
Man, Kenny, I've been really feeling like this been a moment for me to just be still for a second. And, we work a lot. Kenny, I know you work a lot. We work a lot. So as much as I didn't know I needed it because I love the work that I do, being still, like, this is the most time I spent in my home in LA, like, ever.
Right.
And I some days just go out on the patio, man, and just appreciate life. And I feel like I'm getting to know God better in this time. And I'm also, like, recognizing that, man, it just ain't about me or us. Like, it's a whole world out there. It's like, so I feel like this has been a real a rebirth in time, or a renewing of my mind in many ways. And I've been grateful for that aspect. And then also thinking about and looking at what's going on with people and trying to, keep the prayers in and think about what we can do. How you been, bro?
Yeah, it's been good, man. Same for me, man. I just was on with Vibe magazine and I was talking about, we work so hard, Rosh. You know what I mean? We go all over the world. And people are our business. And I don't think people realize how much energy it takes to deal with our folks, because we want to give you everything in our performances. We want to give you light and positivity with our words. So it's much like that for me too, man. I didn't want to buy your nephews that basketball goal, but I broke down and did it because they were the gyms for a while. So we've been having the battles. But it's been good. It's been spiritual, man. I've tapped into something with TKBS that I've been wanting to do. Yeah. And got 3 networks on the table for so it's been a blessing. I always, like you, try to find a silver lining in things, and then speaking more too, because this corona has us sitting still, so we become more aware of what's going on with the politics, and just because we got time to sit back and look. And so I've been tipping my hat in that game. Just to give my perspective as a father, as a black man who changed my life, 3 degrees. So it's been rewarding. But what I want to do, I'm going to give you your flowers several times during this conversation because you know how highly I think of you. But I want to
get back to you, Kenny. I love you, bro, and your spirit, man, translates. You bring good energy to anywhere you go, man, and one of the most sincere, authentic dudes I ever, just met not only in this business, you're just a real one. So it's like, you know, and you talk the real, man, and you live the real, and you treat people with the real. So
Thank you.
I want to make sure you know, point blank, I have that same reverence and respect
Thank
for
you.
you, bro.
And I love you too, brother. And I want to take people on a trip down memory lane. I have some common fun facts that I like to share. Not only your award winning, artist, rapper, you know what I'm saying, poet, you are a Golden Globe winner. I mean, you have statues, you have things that people work their whole lives to achieve. But I want to take it back to 1992. Can I borrow a dollar? I first want to talk about the phrase, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
remember 92 specifically, Common, and I was trying to borrow a dollar too. I was fresh out of jail and I was trying to figure my thing out. But I want you to go back to that, Common, as the adult that is successful, that can look back on his first creative offering to the world and tell the people how that feels to do that.
Man, I mean, 1992, just releasing Can I Borrow a Dollar, man. One of my guys, one of my guys I grew up with just sent me a clip of a tape that I had, like it was a demo tape where I was shouting out my homies. Man, it touched my heart to think about, man, just the young boy that was dreaming of just being heard, man. I just wanted to be heard. Like I wanted KRS-One and De La Soul and Ice
Brother
Cube,
Kim, right?
Daddy K. I wanted them to know who I was. I wanted my homies to be like, yo, Rosh, that rhyme is cold, like, and just put a record out, man. I used to look at the back of record covers, me, Derek, Twilight Tone, No ID. We was just looking at record covers, sending demo tapes, just trying to get a demo heard, man. And for me to release my first album, man, it was like a dream. It was more than I could ever dream of, but it was also a wake up too, Kenny. It was like, because I thought I was gonna release that album and I was just gonna blow up. I thought it would come out and be like,
Come on.
the cats that was just like, at that point, well, big wasn't out yet, but just, it was cats even like Far Side and different dudes that was like my age that were from different places really blowing up. My record didn't get that recognition like that. And at that point, it was a wake up call for me that this was going to be a journey.
Yeah.
And when I look back, I don't know if I called it a journey, but I knew, man, the only way I'm going to get somebody to hear me is if I work to get better. So I started really working on my skill, man, my craft. And it also was at that time, it was the beginning of me starting to like seek out things on a spiritual quest. Like
Come on.
I'm raised in the church, man. I've been going, went to Trinity United Church of Christ my whole life. That was the church, Reverend Wright, Reverend Jeremiah Wright, revolutionary, went to Howard, like super incredible leader. I was like, he like one of my fathers to me because of his sermons. But at the time when I was 21, 22, I started reading the Quran more. Cause my father gave me the name Rashid for a reason. So I'm reading the Quran, reading the Bible, listening to John Coltrane, and all that was a beginning of like me opening up and finding things for myself,
Yes, yes. And obviously, I want to jump from 92 to 2000 because between that time, you put out other albums. You were, again, like you just said, finding yourself spiritually and connecting. But, when that Like Water for Chocolate came out, you were a part of a music collective, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I don't think the Soul Aquarians really get, because that era, listen to me, Common, that era was probably one of the most dynamic eras in music because of all the people in that collective. So how did that come to fruition?
yeah. That time period, Kenny, was, man, that was one of the best time periods ever for me, just in life, in music, as an artist. Like just the people I was around. We came together because, man, we all from the same, like, we from the same cloth, man. We all like were artists that was inspiring to do something creative, innovative. We all like love just music and art in general. So it was for me being able to connect with the roots when, and rhyme on some of their stuff and
Crazy.
actually go out to Philly and I was staying at Black Thought's crib for a second and then me connecting with Erica, asking her would she do some music, but then we just became cool and then me moving to New York and being around all these people who like being around Questlove, being around D'Angelo, being around Erica, then scooping up, saying Bilal and Jill Scott being, you know, like all of us was just connecting. Most Def, Talib, James Poyser, like these dudes, we just was working together, and iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, everybody wanted to come with that classic stuff, and we also was helping each other out. Like Tariq, Black Thought was the one that introduced me to Fela Kuti.
Wow.
And my album, my whole Like Water for Chocolate, like the biggest influences on that album is Fela Kuti and Slum Village. Oh, and I forgot that one of the most important elements of that, Jay Dilla.
Yes.
Like, I met JD, you know, through Q-Tip. JD was like in the basement digging for records. And then, you know, me and him bonded because he's from Detroit. I'm from Chicago. We like, yo, we on some Midwest. So we just connected. We got cool, but we had never did any music then. But then it came back around. I went to Detroit with the Roots when they went to go get a beat from JD.
Right.
So that all kind of, we all was just connected, man. It's a real true bond and friendship and a lot of love within that. But, man, you got some of the greatest artists to ever touch this planet, bro. D'Angelo is an incredible talent. Jay Dilla is one of the greatest producers you ever know. Questlove is a genius, man. Black Thought is one of the coldest. You put him up against any MC, he gonna light it up.
But you know, and I don't want to say that I want to prophesize this. I'm not saying that I have anything to do with making it happen, but I can see the Soulquarians after this pandemic is done. That tour to me would be a stadium filler all over the globe. Man,
we would love to get on stage with those cats, like, and just to be on
the band.
Man, come on, Kenny, like, it's some songs. Just even, I mean, I know you got to see, even seeing Erica and Jill just play their songs back to back was like, whoa, these women are classic. Like, this is some of the best music ever made. Now you put that on with Most Def, with Talib, with myself, with the Roots, you know, like, we going, bro. We are going with
we got to call whoever when we get off the line and get that set up, because that is a stadium tour that would be phenomenal.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to tell you, like, D'Angelo was really keen on having the best musicians, like, playing his band. And I think, you know, that was good for all of us, because, I mean, I always wanted the best musicians too, but to see the level of band, like, because he had the great Roy Hargrove, God bless his soul, like the trumpet player from Dallas who went to school with Erica. Yeah. Roy Hargrove is phenomenal. He played on my albums, all our albums, but he passed recently, but he was on tour with him. Questlove was playing drums. This dude, Pino Palladino, one of the greatest bassists ever, playing bass. James Poyser on keys. Man, he had Anthony Hamilton singing background and Angie Stone singing background. Like, this was his band, man. One of the greatest bands put together. So I'm saying that to say, if we got out and went to do performances, we all gonna be like at that apex level of performance. Because when I go to an Erica show, it's an incredible show. She take you on a journey. When I go to the Root show, they can rock for 2 hours. And it's cold, like, you know, it's ridiculous. So,
yeah, that has to happen, man. The Soulquarians, I look at, you know, even what came out of that with your Grammy, with Love of My Life. Like, that song was so spiritual and necessary at the time. Coming out, I don't think you have an idea, man. That thing is special.
Kenny, that joke, I was grateful that Love of My Life. You know, it really was like it was part of not a sequel. It was part of like a sequence of songs that was based. Like, I did the song I Used to Love Her, which was about hip hop and me, how I made hip hop a woman, and, you know, just telling that story of how much I love the culture and the story. I mean, and the music. Yeah. And that went on for the Roots to go do a song called Love of My Life. And then Erica and I, they asked us to do. They asked me and Erica to do a song for Brown Sugar, the movie. And that movie was kind of loosely based on the song I did, I Used to Love Her. Right. So we did the song. It was, of course, like, Love of My Life. Let's go to what we know, the essence of the music, and talk about love in that way. And, man, working with Erica, James Poyser, Rafi, that's another person who I got to.
Rafi Sadiq. Woo!
He played the bass on that. He played bass on D'Angelo's Lady. He's basically Soul Aquarius too, pretty much. He part of Soul Aquarius. That's somebody else that just, wherever he go, he create that greatness. And he played on that bass on Love of My Life. And man, that song ended up being a Grammy. I couldn't believe it, bro, because I was like, the first time I realized I could get a Grammy, I'm gonna be for real, was I was at the Grammys. The Roots was up for a Grammy.
Right.
Now, they was going against, at the time, they was going against DMX, Puff, Fat Joe, and with R. Kelly, and some, you know, it was all these big artists.
Yeah.
And the Roots won with that song, you know, You Got Me, with them and Erica. And I was like, whoa, like these, my homies, like these, my guys, they won a Grammy. You know, we just making music and wanting to be dope and want people to hear it and want people to know us, but Grammys didn't seem like it was within reach at that time. And man, when they won it, they actually said, come on stage with us. I went on stage. I was one of them dudes just on stage with them, but it just made me know that I could be there. I could belong there. And that's one of the things I feel like we get to do, Kenny, is set that example.
Yes.
And just by being who we are, not like trying to preach it or nothing, but just being who we are, we get to set an example so people can see where they can go and go beyond, because,
Yes.
you know.
But it's something about purpose, though, Rosh. And I think, you know, even how you were telling your story about from 92, you know what I'm saying, with Can I Borrow a Dollar, and you finding yourself. You know, by the time you got to, like you know, like Water for Chocolate, you were in a mindset, in a space where it's your light really started exuding. And this is why, like you said, you're seeing the Roots and Erica win. Wait, these my people. Like I get, and I think that's a testament to you as a person too. You know, even with your relationship with your friend, you got the same friends you've had since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a phenomenal skill set in of itself. But that's why you continue to flourish, because you're authentically you.
Well, I think something you said, Kenny, is important, that I continue to remind myself every day whenever when I'm offered certain opportunities and deals, or people come to me saying, can you do this, do that? Or even if it's something I want to do, I want to make sure it's aligned with my purpose. Because when it's aligned with purpose, man, it resonates on the levels that it should. And it's like, when it's aligned with purpose, you can trust that God is going to take it to where it needs to be.
Come on.
Yeah, and then you know, it also, when you know you're doing it in purpose, you also not always looking for the results. Though you got the vision of what it should be, and you like, yo, I need to get there, and this is what I want. I want these are the goals I set. When it's in purpose, you also see that, like, man, throughout me going through this process, I learned some things. I gained some things in my character. I helped these people out here. I helped this. Like, a good example of that for me was, I got to do Black Girls Rock perform. Me and Erica got to do it, right?
I saw that.
And I was like, I was really, like, I did the song. I was performing this song called God is Love. And I wanted my man, Jonathan McReynolds, this great gospel singer from Chicago. He's already on the song. I wanted him to do it. But at the time, he couldn't do it. So I was like figuring out who I'm gonna get to do it. And I was able to get my man, William Murphy, who's a gospel singer that's in Atlanta. This is my man. I love his music.
Well.
Yeah. Dude, like, so we ended up doing the song God is Love. But then in the middle of the ceremony, Regina King knew that she didn't even know William Murphy was in the house. She started singing one of his songs to the crowd, and the crowd started singing it. And I was like, wait. So by the time it was time for us to perform, we performed my song, but then I just took the stage and said, yo, let William Murphy do what he needed to do.
Yeah.
He did the song, and it just was amazing. And it was like, and I'm bringing that up to say that performance, which I was so worried about how I was going to look, and I wanted to make this right for me, but it was really for him. You know what I mean? And sometimes things turn out like that when you in your purpose. So
man, and speaking of your purpose, man, I never forget you had announced you were doing the Chicago Orchestra performance. You ended up coming to Atlanta, and I caught that performance. And I think you brought him out that night, right? Didn't you bring him out?
I brought him out. Yes, sir.
And I was so proud, bro, because like, it's one thing to, be a rapper and then you succeed, in theory, right? Like meaning you came in, you wanted to be a rapper, you did it. Okay, boom, I'm making this type music. Oh no, wait, I'm identifying with a whole nother spiritual purpose. And
Yeah.
then you get to lend this light to other genres and different things. And when I saw that performance, bro, I'm talking about like you talking about height. I was running around that. I'm taping. I'm running. I'm Derek. Where can I? The lady said I'm jumping
Yeah.
on stage. Oh, I'm helping you on stage. It was a.
Yeah. Yo, you helped me. You gave me, yo, I was so happy to see you at that performance. And you gave me more stuff about Atlanta that I could use in the freestyle. Even though I messed up the veggie burger thing, whatever I said, I
Oh
can't.
yeah. Slutty
Yeah,
me. But you brought it back though.
I brought it back. But man, that being said, it is, that's one of the things that's been really like fruitful for me is to see, okay, this is where I've gotten, and these are the people that I can connect with and expand and like share the platform with. They grow me by taking me to places I haven't been. Like performing with an orchestra, man, it's a whole nother thing. And that was one of the best shows we did with the orchestra. I had a great time. Atlanta came out and just, man, and just the orchestra, it was a vibe. Just seeing
Yeah.
all those black people in the arena, in the place, in the venue, and just doing the music, and it's an orchestra, and seeing us enjoy ourselves, and it be hip hop music, it's soul music, like that connection, it vitalizes me, man, and it's a learning experience for me too, because the orchestras are working off the orchestra is working off of the sheet music, so it's certain things that I'm used to doing, like going free and going over here and like, ad-libbing and taking things. I have to stay within a structure. But then I also take them to a place where they know, like, yo, I'm about to go in this pocket and freestyle for a minute. I'm gonna go here and we go improv a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think it's the beauty of the coming together of those worlds. And like you said, that's how you get to, like, to me, it's like, well, when I get to this platform, if I receive this award, what am I gonna do with it? That's what I feel like. Like, how am I gonna utilize this award to give access for more people and create
Right.
access for myself too, but create access for more people. That's what I'll be thinking when
And
I get.
and you did it, man. Like I even I was bugging out because knowing that on sheet music and how they would even stretch certain parts because they had gotten used to you
Yeah,
like going left. But
yeah,
it was and honestly, man, I want to say this about that shit. When you think about the strings of an orchestra, it was another level of like backdrop. Like I'm talking about when you think of like mood and excitement, it was like, wait, like this is where is that come? Do do then this and I was like, wait, this is some shit. Like so,
yeah.
bro.
But I need you, yo, when we get to our new way of life and we back, being able to go to venues, I'm inviting you because we were actually slated to do this live from Carnegie Hall. We were going to perform at Carnegie Hall with the orchestra and record a live project, which was going to have a lot of new music. So I want to make sure you come for that experience because it's something that's going to be monumental for me and for us, for hip hop, for black music, like for me to be able to record at Carnegie Hall.
1,000,000,000,000,000,000% I will be in the building. I want to take it back a little bit to the cover of like Water for Chocolate because it was a picture by Gordon Parks,
Yeah,
1956 Alabama, I think it was.
yeah. I don't know the year, but yeah, it was definitely a picture by Gordon Parks. Yeah,
So I'm thinking about that, man, and it just brings me to where we are now, and that's why I do titles for my show every day. And not only is that one of my favorite albums, but that picture just it resonates
yeah,
and you've always been an evangelizer for your people. You have always put that in your lyrics, in your rhymes, in your storytelling as an actor. And I just, today, man, it's scary, bro. Like, to see where we are, to wake up this morning and see Donald Trump say, thugs are gonna get shot. I mean, just the way this man speaks so irresponsibly. Where are you with everything that's happening?
Well, I feel like first of all, like I want to send a prayer and I want to encourage us to pray for for that brother George Floyd, his family, and also, you know, Ahmaud Arbery.
Yes.
It was a sister by the name of Brianna who also lost her life within
Yeah.
this whole thing. So I'm first saying, for me, I don't look over the fact that this is a human being that we talking about who have loved ones, and I want to be real, you know, delicate with that, you know, because, you know, we talking about that life, and his family cares, and we care about him,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
from a, you know, from a certain way that we, you know, just because we care about humanity and care about our people, but they've lived life with them, and that's their child, their a cousin, a
Father.
friend. So I say God bless his soul, specifically George Floyd. And where I am with it is that I feel like I want to do work. I want to do the work. I want to do action that, because George Floyd, a few years ago, we were talking about a gentleman named Philando Castile in the same area of Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's so many names that we can go down that I feel like, you know, from the days of Emmett Till
Yeah.
to pre-Emmett Till. Like, I mean, I was just speaking with this brother named Brian Stevenson. He's a attorney who's been doing incredible work when it comes to getting people on death row, off of death row, and
Yes.
he opened a memorial down in Montgomery, Alabama, about all the people who have been lynched. I mean, and I went there for the opening of the memorial, and it was deep to see people being lynched. I mean, their names for looking at a white woman, for going to the inside the store when a white woman was in there. Just the things that our lives have been taken away from us for is just an example of what America is. We have
Right.
to understand that America is an aspect of America that,
Right.
that they don't respect black life. And when I say they, it's a lot of it is the hatred and the powers, the people that are in power,
Right.
including those that are given authority, like some police officers, some people in government, some people that are in military that may not like black, you know, it's just, and just people walking around that are citizens of
Yes.
locations that just don't like black people, and they feel like they can take a black life and not have to pay for it. So how can we like resolve that? I don't have all the answers to resolution, but I do know that us stepping up to say, what can we do with the political structure that is in place right now? Meaning, even specifically, we just said, man, what can I do to change things in Minnesota? Like, what can I do? I'm registered to vote in Chicago. I'm a citizen of the United States, but what can I do in Minnesota? Well, I can find out, like, the district attorney and get behind people who are putting pressure on the district attorney to say, man, this person deserves to go to jail and serve sentence for murder. Like,
Right.
that's what it is. And gather our voices like that. We also got to say, man, when certain areas and stuff like this is doing things that to damage us and take away from us and kill us, we got to like use our financial power too.
Yes.
To not do those things. But then beyond these incidents, we got to stay in tune with, like, man, Minnesota got a Muslim woman that's part of their government, and we got to find out what can we do to support her. Her name is Ilhar. I think it's Ilhar. She's an incredible woman. I spoke with her. We like, it's time for us to do the work. The reason why Kenny, I'm like, yo, I don't talk about a lot of this is because I've been talking, making songs, rapping about it. But man, I gotta do. Like, I can Instagram a picture about brother George Floyd. I can do that. That's important. That's good. But what am I doing? Like, I always think about, anytime now I'm sitting here, like, I was having conversations with people that I love, and they like, Ilhan Omar, thank you. I love Ilhan. She's an amazing person and woman. I got to talk to her, but I was having a conversation. I was like, man, I'm not talking about this. I want to talk about what we're doing. Like, I want to do. So I feel like I'm employing you, Kenny, because you're a powerful man, intelligent man, a man with a lot of connections. I'm employing you for our next conversation to be like, hey, these are some of the things, and I'm employing myself to say, man, Kenny, this is some of the things we can do. Like, and we don't all have to be like, everybody ain't gonna be Dr. King or Malcolm X, but man, even from where we sit or stand, we can say, I'm not supporting this, and this is how I'm gonna express that with
That's
a
right.
with a whether it's a vote, whether it's a dollar, whether it's a strategy. Man, I'm all for that, and that's just where I am with this situation.
Yeah, no, so Rosh, I appreciate the thoughtful way you speak. The one thing I want you to shed a little light on, this is for our young brothers and sisters who only read headlines and really don't read policy or know all the facts. They just go by what they see on Instagram. My personal perception of what's going on in Minneapolis and Minnesota is, it's like, please don't burn down your own neighborhoods. Please don't put yourself in harm's way to be shot and killed or to be arrested where like they burnt a police station.
Yeah,
In theory, I wouldn't suggest anybody do that, but that is a political establishment. That is a government establishment. Target is not. Your neighborhood barbershop is not. Your neighborhood is so. And I'm not telling people what to do, but I know that there are other celebrities as well as media hyping up this tension where people want to go be violent.
right,
And what I try to tell them is, one, we're not equipped for that type of revolution today. And if
right,
you were to get into that, you should research revolution and see how that really works. Because
right.
revolution I know and study, people have died
Yeah,
and are willing to go to jail and lose their freedom or life for said revolution. So I rather, and my whole thing was going back to the voting piece and why voting is locally taking care of DAs, police chiefs, all the types of things that, trouble our community. Also on the state level with senators, governors, so forth and so on up to federal. And, when people ask me one thing, I say that. But what would you say to the youth? Because we have a lot of first-time voters, including your nephew, Lil Kenny. What
yeah.
would you say to them? You know what I'm saying? What would you say to them, bro? Because I don't want them going out here losing their lives, getting felony records, and doing things that put them behind the eight ball.
Yeah. Well, first, I would say, look, I understand the anger. I understand the pain, point blank. But I mean, anybody that's been in a fight, a fist fight, fighting with your homies, pretty much the result of that has never come out like, you never come out like with the results that you really want. Even
Come on,
if you whoop their ass, you still like
come on.
ain't really coming out like, okay, what really changed? What outcome did I receive that changed? Like literally, like socially, because really we out there doing that because we hurting. We mad. We want to see things change.
Okay.
So I employ and ask that of the young people, like, I understand the pain, the anger, but it's like ways to strategize and use that toward, like, use that passion, that emotion towards strategy, and voting is one of the ways. And
Yeah.
going out and, like, it's other ways to do that work, to take that energy, meaning, like, now it's about knowing, like, okay, well, man, I'm about to send this person to run for local representation in this area, or I'm about to find out who the police chief is and organize enough people to say, hey, man, if you allow this dude to work, or this person is not prosecutor, district attorney, we are going to organize and have thousands to millions of people make sure that you don't get reelected.
Organize.
Organized. And it is the vote, man. I used to be one of them cats that was like, man, I ain't voting. Used to be that too. I used to be that. And then I was like, I saw, man, like George Bush, the younger George Bush, and I was like, how can I say I care about my people and care about, like, the people around me, care about the community, care about the people that just got gunned down, and I don't go out and vote? How can I, like, it's other levels that we got to change it on, but man, voting is one of them. And I'm saying the same people that young people, if you complain, if you got anything against Trump or anything against you, what you see with the police department and your district attorney, voting is one of the ways that you fight. That's one of the strongest punches you can give.
Come
It's
on.
like, yeah. So like that is one thing, and it does take us identifying. And look, I'm one to acknowledge that I don't know every elected official that's in these states, and I can do better. I want to do better, but along with that, I feel like it's up to us too, Kenny. As you making my nephew know, it's up to us to educate them on who are the people. Like that, it was. I got educated on who Stacey Abrams was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got educated on who Ilhan Omar was.
Who Obama was.
Obama, yo, dude, my mother used to have my stepfather used to have a sign up of Obama in the window. This is like probably early 2000s, like when he was running for senator or
right, yeah.
And I'd be like, who is this? You know, and usually people that they were supporting, I was kind of like, I don't know, like I don't know who this dude is. But then I saw Obama at the he was at one of the hip hop summits that Russell Simmons had. I started finding out about Obama. One of my friends showed me a speech of Obama, and I was like, yo, that's what we got to do right now. Is like identify the people who will represent us, who will go out there and fight for us. And if you don't see them, you be that person.
Yes.
It took like somebody. Obama started somewhere. He was working on a campaign for one of our greatest heroes, Harold Washington, the first black mayor of Chicago.
Yeah.
That gave us hope. That gave us an inspiration. That gave Obama hope to know that he could become the president. Anyway, my point is, anybody that's of a new generation, the new generation, voting is one of the ways you express. I respect the tweets. I respect the Instagram. I respect you going out and expressing yourself. But destroying your own is definitely hasn't been really the productive thing. But I understand the emotion. But now, what's your next step after the march, after the tweet? What's our next step? And some of that is, like I said, it's up to us, Kenny, to make sure we give people a resource. One of the things I really wanted to organize was something where, when we don't know who in these different districts represent what they represent, that we have a hub that educates us quickly. Like you can just type in, yo,
right,
EA and blah blah blah. The person running against them, who is Ilhan, and like really like our community, as we say, like the culture can go and be like, I know about this person, because it is like a little bit. It's intimidating to try to be like, I need to know all this politics. Everybody is not up for that, but we should be able to provide them a platform that can educate them on that.
Yeah, and that what you said, Rosh, is the biggest thing. We have to point out, like my mother-in-law told me 2 weeks ago, she called me after the Amanda Seals conversation I had, and she was just telling me how proud she was of me, this, that, and the third. And she was like, well, Kenny, when we used to go and vote, we go to the church. The church would tell us who to vote for, who the politics, who the state level, who the local level was, and that's what we need to do. We need to educate our people, and like you said too, bro, and I really think you should be in politics at some point in your life. But we should plant people where we want them. There are community activists. There are people that, you know, can represent us well on a local, state, and federal level, and we have to identify them. I'm talking about our generation. We're in our 40s now. It is our responsibility to teach the youth, to like have this platform. And I don't know if you want to create that or not, but I'm totally down. Create a platform where it's factual, not meme based, not, you know, fudged and distorted. The facts, here are the facts, here are the people. Here's how you can go do absentee ballots, because that's not over regardless of what Trump is talking about. You can still in certain states get your absentee ballot on. We should do that, and we should figure that out, find somebody that can do it, and we support it.
Hey, the Wu said, teach the truth to the young black youth. That's what we got to do. But yo, one of the things you just said, that I think you said your mother-in-law, or
my mother-in-law.
I think it's an important thing she brought up that I always think is missing in what we think about leadership. Some of our greatest leaders was based in spirituality,
Come
whether it's Dr. King, whether it's Malcolm X, whether it's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, whether it's Minister Farrakhan, whether it's, T.D. Jakes, shoot, Gandhi to go
yeah.
to that matter. Like, they had a spiritual foundation. I think when leaders have that, they're more compassionate towards the people.
Come on.
They're thinking more rational on how to strategize. You're not gonna go into a fight knowing that you don't have the tools to win that fight, and you know that every fight is not a physical fight.
Come on, say that, Rosh.
Yeah. So I really do. I think that's something as black men we gotta like make it okay to understand it, man. It's all right to be like, man, I love God. I'm building a relationship with God. Whether your God is Allah, whether your God is G,
Abraham, whoever.
Whether you meditating, it's on Buddha and it's down with Buddhism, whatever your spirituality, we need that integrated into this movement, because it'll have us operate on a high vibration, and I just feel it's necessary. And you don't have that type of leadership in government, because government is like a lot of people, because if you do, you got some people, but we don't have enough, where it's like, man, listen, I'm operating it from the kingdom of God, so I'm not gonna treat people like this. I don't care if I lose my power or not. Because I just sat down with state officials that sat in front of me and said to me directly this. We were trying to get some bills passed to deal with criminal justice reform.
Yes.
One of the guys said, man, I know this is right, but man, my constituents ain't gonna support this. My people, I know this is the right thing to do. And that right there explained to me politics.
Right.
Meaning, some people know what's right, but they're not willing to give up their position to do it. And that's what happens a lot with some politicians.
Well, I am all about not being a politician, because Jamie Foxx hit me, and he was after my Sean King interview. He's like, Kenny, I don't know what form of office you want to run for, but we willing to support you. I'm like, who is we, Jamie? But I'm 100% in on trying to teach the truth to the young black youth. And speaking of that, Rosh, I want you to I know you're a freestyle assassin. I got one more question after this and that's it, but I know you're a freestyle assassin.
Yeah.
We just had a whole meaningful talk. We're talking about teaching the truth to the young black youth. We're talking about voting. We're talking about spirituality. Can you put that in a little, for the people real quick?
All right. Yo, if you ask me to freestyle, I gotta say yes, because we live here on TKBS. You know how we do. I get on any topic. Thanks for giving love to the album like water for chocolate. When it comes to this consensus, this ain't written, but we talking voting. And when it comes to this, I did the song The Light. And I'm telling y'all, for voting, we got our voting rights. Forget the voting lefts, Used to be down with Def Jam. You know who I am. The nigga like me, I don't eat ham. You know the boy Constance, I just went to fam. And then I came to jail, I just panter a little bit. My man's in Atlanta in the A. I do this thing every day. And when it comes to this Constance, I gotta say, there's more things happening that we got to avoid. I'm talking Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I say rest in peace, God bless their soul. We got to get this whole country in control. There's some things being told. They try to take our souls, but that's been happening since this country been old. This country is old. It's been looking for our character. What's going to happen? They trying to take us out of America. Some people say we need our own states, but these is our states. We just can't contemplate. We came to take it. This like sacred. And when it come to freestyle, I got to make it. My mind is never vacant, and never will I shake it off. Common sense, I'm killing them soft. You know how we do. I told you must learn like KRS while I rock with Kenny Burns.
Hey!
Yeah.
God, man, well, listen, man, you are a authentic offering every time you rap, perform, whether it's on stage or on the silver screen. And I'm just blessed to know you, man. we talk about this a lot when we're together, but it's just so hard to find genuine people
Yes, sir.
in this business that we're in, man. And Ross, man, you solid as they come, bro. And I representing your people without having to go into politics, without having to, you know, make, adjustments to who you are. You could be that, and you could get with, what you came for. So I want you to not think about politics, obviously, but I want you to think about, you on that level of leadership.
Hmm.
Because you're necessary, bro. And you, like, even till you calm me down, I was ready to get hyped. Like, I've been hyped for 5 days. I'm about to go to sleep for a week. Like, but you calm me down, and I appreciate you, brother, every time.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I love you. And I want to shout out D Dudley. See D Dudley up here.
Yeah, everything.
And Corey. What up, Corey? Corey, my man Corey Smith, right there, Blacksmith. And
Black.
I seen Junior out here. So love, Junior. What's up? Just shout out to everybody I noticed out there. I ain't see everybody, but Kenny, I appreciate you, bro. And like I said, the next time we talking about these things, me and you we should be having some action items.
Yes.
To say this is what we doing next. These are things we gonna guide y'all like real kings supposed to. That's what we gonna do.
Yes. Yeah, and we got to get that Soul Aquarian tour. Is it Soul Aquarian or Soul Aquarian?
Yeah. Soul Aquarians.
So we got to get the Soul Aquarians tour popping. Derek C. Smith, everybody listening, we got to get that tour together. That is the biggest tour of 2021. For sure.
Crazy. That's crazy. All right, Kenny.
And I'm hosting.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go.
Love you, boy. Keep going.
Love you, bro. Love.
All right, yes. Peace.
Peace.
Yo, man, one time for the legend, Common Sense, y'all. Man, I'm whole, man. I'm ready to get into this weekend and plan, strategize, and organize for next week. I appreciate y'all. This is going up right now for anyone who missed this. To tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the Kenny Burns Show, y'all. Happy Friday. Love y'all. Peace.